Meghan Markle here.
Today is August 27. Yeah, today is August 27, 2025. It is 6:29, 6:30. I overslept, which it's fine because I needed the sleep. I got up like around 2 and I was like, oh, let me close my eyes out. Let me give myself 20 more minutes. 20 more minutes was like around 6 o'clock. All right, so there's a couple things I need to catch up on. It's more from yesterday's tweets. I have a long list which I didn't finish yesterday. There's some stuff regarding BBC, Bloomberg. I believe there's an article in there I need to check. And there's this one, New York Times. It's an article. Someone tagged me on it. I just saw it and I added to the list. I want to share it with you. I want to read it. I've already shared it on my community board. And there's a lot. Okay, there's a lot regarding Meghan's interview yesterday. So let's go on Twitter and get started. And if you have not subscribed to PYTE, this is it here. Go on PYTE and subscribe and check out the 2 videos that I did regarding Meghan's interview. Okay, this one I just uploaded. So let's go on APTS Sussex, which is where I'll be putting this video. Alright, so this is here. I didn't do a thumbnails for this yet. So you guys, when you see a video that looks weird without any of my typical thumbnails like this, that's because I just don't have time. Okay, and I just made it public. When I do have time, I'll come back and make the thumbnails. I rather create the videos for you guys, that way you could be up to date. This weekend, let me see, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, there will not be any videos because I'll be going away. We're taking the kids for a last mini getaway. Nothing special, just a way we align ourselves and to get them ready for school and talk about things that they need to look forward to. All right, so pretty much it's just something simple. It's not, we're not gonna go camping, just somewhere we've been there before, but a little getaway. All right, so you're not gonna get any videos from Friday on. You might have a video on Friday because I'll get up early to do a recording, but Saturday, Sunday, and probably Monday late afternoon when I come back, depending on my energy level. So yeah, let's go on X. This is the one that someone tagged me on. I'm not gonna do this one first. Let's open a new tab. This is the link from the list that I have. Okay, so this is the first tweet. Oh, that's the BBC article. Okay, Meghan on Who Said I Love You First and What She Misses About UK. BBC, I'm not gonna read it. Okay, obviously it was a spare, LOL. That's an ad. What do the drag queens think? What does that mean? They said Meghan on Who Said I Love You First and What She Misses About the UK. Whatever. Alright. Crazy. There's that. Bottom of the BBC Barrow official script. Who the F cares? I mean, when they say who the F cares, you know you do, because you know the thing says about her, yet you click. Let's leave that alone. Okay, let's go to the next tweet. If you haven't listened to the interview, go check it out. On PYTE, there are a couple tweets, couple video links like this, okay, that I have in the video. Okay, so this is Bloomberg. I might read this article because I think there are a couple tweets that the squad mentioned make reference to it. While Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is almost always in the headlines. These days, it's not for the usual reason. On this special episode of The Circuit, we reveal her next chapter. So let's go into that. The link of it will be in the description. Is it a paid? Let me pause and find out how this is being done. I'm checking to see if it's archived, because lately, maybe not. Let me pause. Okay, so somebody archive it, because I do not want to give them those permission, this kind of thing. So I'm gonna read the archive version. So someone already archived it. Alright, let me pause again, let it run its course. I think I saved it again. This is the link that I'll be sharing with you, the archive version. Alright, while this is loading, let me go back on X, because I do not have time to waste. So let's go back on X and check some of the tweets, and then I'll go back to see if the archive is ready. That's the one I'll be reading, and I've already put the link on my list. Alright, so this one here. This tidbit right here, 100% agree. Can't wait to watch more. Way to go, Emily and Meghan. Alright, 1 minute and 19 seconds. Screenshots, okay?
You've talked about how important it is to be financially literate, especially for women to be financially literate. You know, talk a little bit about your own journey around money, learning how to make it, learning how to manage it.
Certainly as an auditioning actor, you are paycheck to paycheck. So you're very mindful about how you spend.
Okay, this part I highlighted on Pt1's video where I mentioned the SAG vice president protest when Hollywood was on strike regarding you know, their financial, their things. So go on Pt1. I highlight a lot. I didn't share too many tweets because I kept on reviewing, giving my ideas, and reinforcing some of the things that she said. Yeah, there were a couple tweets, but yeah, go check it out. I highlight this part and specifically on Pt1. I'm not gonna do it again here.
But I grew up clipping coupons. I grew up looking for deals and the sale rack. I always worked. I mean, my first job was when I was 13 at a frozen yogurt shop called Humphrey Yogurt. I've had a lot of jobs over the years, and
this is a spoiler alert if you didn't watch the entire interview. They did have the yogurt, the ice cream, near the end of the interview. All right, so let's continue.
When you work really hard, you value what you've earned. So I think that translates into how I invest. It translates into how I spend, what I teach my children. And I think it's incredibly important for young women, especially, to have a sense of why it matters for her to earn her own money and to be able to be financially independent. That's not about anything other than being self-reliant. And the more that you're able to take care of yourself, especially as a woman, then you're making practical choices in your life that are not hindered by a need being met by someone external. Taking care of yourself is so key, and it's the most empowering thing in the world.
This is very true. Very, very true. Let's see, go back to the archive. Okay, so there it is here. Let me read the article. This is the link I'll be sharing with you. This one, oh, not that one. The Bloomberg. I don't want to give stuff about my thing. Oh, where is it? This is it here. How the Duchess of Sussex became Meghan Inc. Though she's almost always in the headlines, recently it hasn't been for the usual reason. On this special episode of The Circuit, we reveal her next chapter. It is by Emily Cheng, and it was written yesterday, August 26, 2025. While Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is almost always in the headlines, these days is not for the usual reasons. Since March, she's launched a Netflix show. Well, she's always on the headline because of the UK tabloid, creating nonsense. And then on the Emily interview, they spoke about the headlines and how she pretty much blocked it. And that's another thing I raised on my last video on Pt1, and I'm like, I need like a psychologist to explain to me, pretty much like in baby term, how she was able to explain or like become recenter herself while at the same time understanding the the magnifying thing that's on her, and to somewhat differentiate all the different aspects that targeting her. I didn't word it like that, but I raised this part up on my video on PYTE. So I really suggest you guys subscribe to PYTE and watch the videos, because sometimes the good things like this, I put it on PYTE. When it's about the leftovers, the derangers, or whatever, I put it over here. Let's continue. These days is not for the usual reason. Since March, she launched a Netflix show with Love Meghan, a podcast and a lifestyle brand that's selling out on gem, rosé, and her much talked about flower sprinkles. Meghan's story is no longer just about marriage to Prince Harry and everything that come with it. Now it's also about Meghan, the entrepreneur. And if she had time to pay attention to the derangers, the noisemakers in the UK, she would not be able to do all of that. So you could see that she has been minding her own business and ignore the noises. And this is what really pisses them off over there in Salty Island. They didn't want that for her. All right, they try their best to corrupt, manipulate the system in the US to jump on the bandwagon of their same stupidity. There are some who did jump on the bandwagon, but well-minded people know better. Like journalists who's writing things like this know better. Alright, but having a world-famous name is just the start when it comes to business, as witnessed by celebrities who have launched everything from beauty lines to tequila brands and fashion label. And it's safe to say Meghan is starting her business amid an unprecedented set of circumstances. That is true. All those negative things that been pulling her down, yet she find a way. I guess God is reaching out to her and pulling her back up, because, and let's not forget the squad, especially those who's been with her from the start, way before meeting Harry. This squad is like Emily, okay, and there's so many, Michelle, Tina, these and V. Okay, these were the groups that I stumbled on their videos at the beginning of my quest on finding out what the hell is going on. Okay, these ladies, you know, prop to you for fighting the battle when nobody else saw it. Little at a time, people like myself were seeing the nonsense that was going on, and all this, you know, informing us of Meghan's background, the true self of her. Prop to you guys, V, Michelle, Tina, Emily, and all the others I don't know about who's been doing the fight quietly. All of you guys, we need to thank you for Meghan's success right now, and this is why she respects her followers. She's been saying that. Anyway, this is why I leave the link in the description. You guys could go read it yourself, because as I'm reading, I have to give you my opinion of things. Otherwise, I'll just read it myself if I don't do that. But having okay, I read that. And it's safe to say Meghan is starting her business amid an unprecedented set of circumstances, giving the 9-year media maelstrom she endured. That's for sure. The real test of her new chapter may be getting beyond the initial hype and criticism to build a brand that can last. To talk about her various commercial endeavors as well as her famous and future, the 44-year-old former actor sat down with us for a special episode of the Bloomberg original series, The Circuit. We visit a few of her favorite spots near her home in Montecito, California, where she shed light on her evolving partnership with Netflix. Netflix, I have to say, it's almost the same thing that Mark Cuban saw in her, and they saw the same thing too. And the moment they got the deal with her, they pretty much capture her and then they give her the freedom. That's the first in 2020, the $100 million deal, and then now they renew their partnership and they're moving forward together.
Harry and Meghan are incredibly marketable. I'd call them the new young Obamas. They're going to make an ungodly amount of money, and you know what? They literally could become billionaires over the next 20 years. If either of them came on Shark Tank, I wouldn't even wait for them to pitch. I'd be like, I'm in, whatever you want, yes, because they are so marketable. It would be so easy to develop products and projects for them, with them, and around them, it'd be yes. Yes. Can you hook it up?
So Netflix saw, they're not stupid, the success of her as ever brand, and even how she decided to scale production to 1 million jars of jam. And of course, we dive into the cascade of reviews of stories about Meghan, as well as her thought on how the media has covered her new endeavors. As for the growing business enterprise, Meghan tries to answer the big question of whether she can succeed on her own terms. Okay. Alright, okay. I thought it was gonna be extra long, but it's not. Okay. So it started here. There's Emily here. What's your vibe on launch day? Are you zen or are you gritting your teeth? Meghan, very zen because it's done. Where did I heard that? Is it part of the video interview? It's done. So I think I sort of approach that with anything that I pour my heart into and create. You've done everything you can, and then you have to let it go. Chang, season 1 of the show hit the top 10 globally, and yet there were mixed reviews. How did that land for you? Meghan, I think I knew who I was trying to meet, okay? Her followers. She doesn't care about the derangers. It's like if the derangers decided to hop on to watch, thank you for watching. But technically, she's catering to her fan since Tig. These are the people she's catering to, and Netflix saw the same thing too. And so if you know your audience, you know your demographic, well, they love the show and my partners love the show, and that's why we have a season 2 and why we have more fun coming. That remind me of that interview she did with Variety on the red carpet. I still remember that interview. Reporter did a very good job for that quick moment on the red carpet. That was, I believe, 2022 or 2023 when things were supposed to come out. Instead, we got the American Riviera, and that didn't go accordingly. So
something to do with it, but good shows are everlasting.
That's what you're doing now. You have now come into Hollywood in a producerial capacity. What is inspiring you, and as you're kind of looking to make these new projects, what is the thing that is, driving the work that you're going to put out into the business?
Things that make people feel, I was going to say good, but it's more than that. Things that make people feel something, right? And feel a sense of community, but we have so many exciting things on this slate. I can't wait until we can announce them, but I'm just really proud of what we're creating. My husband is loving it too. It's really fun.
We're here anytime you want to make those announcements.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We'll get in touch then. Yeah.
We're thrilled to have you here as one of our honorees, our alumni. So nice to see you. Thank you so much.
They rebrand. Alright, but anyway, let's continue. So I think oftentimes the negative voices are they saying negative things and then secretly going home and making single skillet spaghetti, possibly, and that's alright. They're trying to pay their bills, and that for them to sort out if they're comfortable doing it at someone else's detriment. Yeah, that part really got me. Knowing that the derangers, they know how painful it is to say some of the things that they say on their video at the cost of her mental well-being. That part really got me. I also highlighted on PYTE videos, one of them. I don't know if it's the first one or the second one. From my standpoint, the intention of the show was to share more of myself, to share tips that I love in my life, and to have fun. Okay, this seems to be like part of the video interview that I saw. So I'm gonna stop now because some of the things that I'm reading here, I've heard them already on the interview. Okay, so I'll leave the link anyway in the description if you guys want to check it out. Let's go back on X. Not that one, this one. All right. This was such a fantastic episode. I love it. I wish it had been longer. Great question, great answers. Love seeing Meghan and her own power. She knows who she is. She's not waiting for anyone to tell her who she is. That's for sure. Beautiful picture. There's a heart here. Love her so much. Yeah. Ever since his fake baby dropped, people... Nah, just ignore that. That's nice. This isn't celebrity gossip. It's narrative product launch. PR streaming plus partnership. Watch 3KP's rich intention revenue. Grog did the then she renounced her noble title. What the hell? But let's see what Grog says. No, Meghan Markle has not renounced her title as Duchess of Sussex. She and Prince Harry stepped back from the legal do this. Let me just leave that alone. I'll expand this. You guys could pause and read. Okay, there's all of that. If you guys want to read, all I know is that when they were going, they meaning Harry and Meghan, were having trying to sort out how they're gonna move forward. One of the things that Harry said, he doesn't mind giving the title back. They didn't want it. And then you have the Rangers who signed a petition for the government to take their titles away. It was rejected. Okay, so I don't know what else do these people want. Okay, her next chapter, I'm not sure we ever finished the first one. It feels like she's just been jumping from one thing to the next, cashing in on a story that's getting old. What's the end game here? Another podcast or a new brand or royal adjacency? If you think she hasn't done anything, you haven't paid attention, because she's been doing a lot. She hasn't talked about that family in years. Okay, that for sure. Okay, there's that. Let's block this when I see them. There's no reason to come across that thing. This one as well. Okay, shouldn't be using the title. Okay, let me pause. So this is one of the response that I did in one of those videos. So I'm just gonna copy the link where I say, I mean, at this point, what the F do you want them to do? They offer it back and people like you did a petition to take it away. Nothing. Your concern should be at Harry's father. The same way he has the power to deny Harry's security, he can take it. Okay, I was running out of character. Go to King Charles III, not Harry or Meghan. They can do without it. Alright, so this is the part where Harry offered to relinquish his title. That's that I'm sharing. Okay, rejected petition. Alright, where the Rangers, this is the petition here. They did all of that, they rejected it. So what do they want them to do? Alright. Oh, this is what I wrote. Okay, here, pointing down here. This tweet applies to you, to your concern. Don't forget to check out the screenshots, these. Alright, and then let's block. I don't want to see. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. There's more responses, but let's move on. 07, there's that. It's making reference to the Bloomberg. So that's the interview that's on YouTube. Okay, the Bloomberg interview was very interesting. I wish some of the Meghan's answers weren't cut down, because you can tell there was more to some answers. What I wish Meghan spoke about more, or certainly pushed back on more, was how her show did. It beat out other fan favorite. 5.4 million views for a lifestyle show is huge. Maybe she did mention it, they cut it out like she said here. No other show did those numbers, and she should rightly be proud of that. I also wish more was said regarding the very deliberate campaign to trash her show, because we all saw it happening. And then when it blew up on social media, different media outlets started backtracking. I'm glad she brought attention back to clickbait and how it's an industry done for profit, because that's important to reinforce. Overall, I enjoyed the interview. I love how they did things and change up the scenery. Yeah, they went and ate that burger, and they were in that godmother bookstore. Yeah, it was super cool and fun, and the interviewer really didn't hold back. That is true. Okay, those package visuals are put in post, so Meghan will have no way of seeing the finished product. So what will happen is her PR team will contact Bloomberg. They may about a bit of a correction, or her PR team could release a short statement. Remember, Bloomberg's is William E.S. partner. Very interesting. I sort of look at okay, I didn't know this part. I did look it up, but it's saying, the former mayor of New York City who created it. But then again, I didn't go too deep. I don't know if I shared that when I looked it up. Okay, yes, good point. But when she brought up the criticism, I think it would have been a good moment to reinforce the very deliberate smear campaign, and how the media backtrack when they sense that's not what the public are feeling, if you know what I mean. All right, there's one response to that. I think she responded to the miniature of the trolls across the board. It's for clickbait and money, and she moved on. All right. I can't believe that chick asked her about Trump. Oh, did I miss that? I did nap a little bit. Okay, I probably need to go back and look at it again. They probably want to get her. This is what they want. If they did bring it, I missed it. I missed that part for some reason. If they did bring Trump into the conversation, it's the UK. Probably trying to trigger, because Harry and Meghan stay completely out of the politics. They want the part where Trump start triggering them to send them back. You know, Harry in particular. That's probably why. Let's see. I can't believe that chick asked her about Trump, and I also hate the blurb about Meghan's Netflix show, but she works for Bloomberg, Willie's friend. Okay, yeah, she asked great question, but I'm still giving her the eye. Okay, I'm so glad Meghan navigate that gracefully. I know people will take issue with the fact that she then condemn him with her full chest, but the government is literally being sued because of her husband. The government is being sued because of her husband. Okay. Am I missing something here? Because of Harry? There's something I'm missing here. These people do not need a larger target on their backs. Yeah, they have to completely avoid talking about the US politics right now, especially where almost everyone in position of power are doing unethical things. How long until the rage start about her talking about her name being Sussex? Honest opinion, love the energy, the change of scenery, and the vibe. I understand it for a business focus outlet, but as Meghan watcher, the question and answers felt redundant and only scratched the surface, especially coming off the Emma Creed podcast overall. There's a thumbs up. Agreed. That's a different tweet under the same original tweet that I clicked on. Okay, agreed. Just left this comment under Emily promotional tweet. Okay, enjoy the interview overall with just 2 first flash call out and complete slightly negative framing of With Love Meghan on Netflix, ranking 383 out of 7,000 plus titles for a lifestyle show. Soliciting a public statement on Trump, I guess that Trump, and your current climate. Let me see here. And your current climate, girl, you tried it, but no, out. Okay, so that's what she put here. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, Meghan knows what's going on politically. You think they're not paying attention? You don't want to get involved. The only thing that she did was, which the UK got mad about, was to tell people to vote. That was like leading up to the 2020 election, I believe. And then they were yapping their mouth like she's telling people this is who you're supposed to vote for, when in fact all she tell people is go vote. Okay, insightful interview. PC. I dislike how Meghan was being pushed for a negative comment on Trump. Okay, I really need to go back and watch that part because I did doze off a little bit. I was behind my computer while I just finished edit an hour plus worth of video, so I dozed off a little bit, so I probably missed that. Insightful interview. I dislike how Meghan was being pushed for a negative comment on Trump, but like a pro, she reminded everyone that she was a different person pre-2016. Furthermore, I wonder how the Rangers and rent seekers will turn a great session into something negative. All right, let's go to the next one. It's making reference to the Bloomberg. So the Bloomberg is the video. I thought the YouTube video that I watch is completely different from the article, but it's pretty much the same thing. All right, Meghan on trolls who create their content on her and her show. Well, there's the B word. I have to pay their bills and I'm glad I can help. There's the laugh here. Like I said, without her, those hating on her wouldn't have a job. My charitable queen. Yeah, it was kind of sad to watch and listen of her saying that. It's very sad because the pain that these people who literally are fully aware that it brings her, and thank God she doesn't pay attention to them. Okay, I love your blunt translation of what Meghan said because haters need to hear the less classy version every time. LOL, you well, keep going though. I speak what Meghan should have said fluently. Practice makes perfect. pretty much. You remember when President Obama was in office? There was this comedian who was somewhat his inner voice. That's what this reminded me of. There's the laugh here, exactly. There's all of this. She really knows how to dress in accordance with the case. These two pieces are stunning. There's that. All right. So there was something I wanted to go into. Okay, never mind. Let's go to the next one. Right, Bloomberg is one of the most respected media and business platforms, and this is such a strong move that shows how well Meghan's media team has been positioning her. It is the kind of platform that not only strengthens as ever, but also helps attract a new audience. Must watch. All right, so go watch it. Is on YouTube, and I've also putting the link of the interview that I started reading in the description. All right, pleasure, enjoy to watch. There's that. That's an ad. I think Emily asked really good question. I'm happy that Meghan got a fair interview. Did y'all hear when Alcy said they had to think of 250,000 jars of jam? Imagine that as your startup. I'm telling you. Will do, thanks. Although I've been running on fumes for Meghan, I'll wake up very, very early to watch both the podcast and season 2 before midday to see what I can buy. It's gonna be a great but very busy day. I do too. She's just beautiful. Excellent analysis. The podcast is quite interesting and top notch. I enjoy every moment of it. She's so articulate and not fazed by any question. Talk of intelligence and beauty, Meghan stands out. There's that. That's a GIF. There's 2 comments under this one. Learn to use grammar correctly while you are at. Okay, especially when you are on social media, especially on X, if you're not paying to be on it. So the free version, there's a limitation of how much you could write, and many times even when you're trying to type the number 2 TWO, and you're running out of character, you have to change it and put the number 2. Or even when you're writing to go to TO, you have to cut down the character, you put the number 2. So technically, in a way, even though it does matter, I mean, if it's professional business type, maybe yes, then you should have a pay version of X where your character is unlimited. But people like me, I'm not gonna pay to be on X. You have a limited character to write your thought, and sometimes some people write a freaking long thread just to finish their thought. But anyway, if you want only one tweet to summarize your thought, you have to squeeze down things. There's people who actually remove the space bar, after each word you put a space. Some people remove the space completely, so you have to be very insightful of who you're dealing with. But technically, even though grammar is very important, but on social media, I don't think it matters that much. Next tweet. The Loveliest Times article, we ready today on okay, this one got me. On with Love Meghan, written by Alicia Haridasini Gupta. Quote, joy in some way is an act of resistance in itself, of saying, I have survived something, Miss Norris said. I just gave her prop. Alright, so I think I have this open. Not that. Not this. Not that. Let me pause and look.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.